Welcome to the Big and Small Podcast, coming to you from Plymouth, Massachusetts. Just a couple of guys drinking some beers, having some chow, and talking all things sports.
Fire away.
All right, boys. Episode 76. We're all in separate locations. So I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, so I don't want to make anybody sick that I don't have to. Poor Lisa. Should be a mess if I came over there. So anyway, episode 76. Get them up, boys. I got my Gatorade. Rick with the soda. Dougie, what do you got?
Juice.
Snapple?
Thank you to our millions of fans. Thanks, Doug, for producing. Like I keep
Snapples?
telling the boys, I'm working some Cake Hades potato chips with their special dip for my little snack tonight during the
Oh,
pool.
nice. I thought you were talking
Okay.
about
Saw Ruth was up there, and Luke, and saw a little bit of the crew. It was good. Darcy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, today's Thursday. Yeah, Thursday night. That's the crew.
So we're coming out of the gates. We're talking about something we haven't talked about in a while, just because there happens to be a little movement, if you will, in the pool. You know, a little bit of splash. Red Sox had a decent signing. They signed Alex Bregman.
All right, so before we get into the Bregman signing,
Yeah.
does this make them a playoff team?
Oh, they'll be in the hunt with the new systems and the wild cards and the Forever 500 Major League Baseball. They'll be in the hunt.
I think their over-under is 87 now, Dougie.
Is it?
Yeah.
So that puts them at just a touch over 500.
Right, and I think that got in last year. So,
Which
Yeah.
I wonder how much that went up. Now that they signed Bregman, like what do they think?
I heard on radio it only went up like 3 games. But
so I know how Dougie feels because he texted me and I texted him back. What do you think of the signing, Rick?
I don't think I texted you. Did I text you? I texted the group, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that was
All right, but Rick didn't respond. So, what do you think?
My end of it, no brainer. I mean,
Yeah. But what do you think of the deal?
I think he's getting overpaid per year.
Yeah.
But you're only in for 3 and maybe less.
Yeah.
It's a classic Red Sox. If they get, that's what I say to people like, "Ooh, big splash." Well, yeah, it's a big splash for now, but they're not going out. They haven't signed anybody in years for that mega deal, and they're getting exactly what they want. You get Crochet as hopefully you get him, you re-sign him. You get these overpaid short term, which I think for Bregman, I would rather do that. They needed him, overpay him short term. I would have never given him 7 years.
No, and I think so. Dougie thinks it's way too much money. I think it's a perfect deal for both sides because he's getting more money than anyone else offered him, short term, and the Red Sox aren't on the hook, which they don't like being on the hook, and I don't mind him not being on the hook with a guy like him. He's getting a little bit older. He's still got plenty in the tank, but with injuries and stuff, I mean, I like the deal. I mean, yeah, they overpaid a little bit, but so what? He's the only one they overpaid on, Plus, they got a whole bunch of other 1-year deals with all these pitches, these relief pitches. So, one year at a time, there's going to be guys out there that they could drop some money on, not a ton of money, drop some money on and be competitive while they bring up their prospects. So I think I like the deal. All right, Dougie, hammer it.
So my thing is, so now all of a sudden he's your highest paid player by $10 million.
Who cares?
No, but I'm just like, I guess I would have loved to be a fly in the room. And it's like, so now it's coming out. It's like you had all these deals on the table. Somebody did offer him, 6 years for the $170 million. Like, why didn't you take that? Like, you don't want to play for the 6 years. You didn't like the money, kind of like what was really like going on. And then it's like, you were out there for a while. It wasn't like, free agency hit and we got you, but like you still paid for an asset that was just sitting out there. And then the other question is, what's he going to do? Where's he going to play? Is he going to play? Is he going to play third? Now you're paying Alex Bregman $40 million to play second base,
No, you're paying him $40 million to bat third.
and hey, give you 25 home runs.
I think he'll hit more in Fenway.
So I don't know. I'd love to, like I said, I'd love to be a fly on the wall to hear the actual conversation that was had between him and execs and whatnot. And I thought it was funny that I did hear one of the callers today. I'll tell you about that in a second, but they're like, oh, this is funny now. 2 years ago you were just calling Alex Bregman a cheater and how he sucks and banging trash cans, and all of a sudden Boston's welcoming him with open arms. That's funny, you hypocrites.
Well, he wanted to play for Cora, I think, too. I think that was a big deal. I think that was a big part of it.
So Rick, as a career baseball guy, like, what do you think makes the most sense?
Well, I'm not like I said, I'm not worried about the money. I think they needed to figure out how to lock him in. They screwed up on like Teoscar Hernandez, who I would have, the other free agent out there that I would have signed in a heartbeat. And they could have had Teoscar a year ago. They've made 0 trades, which means no one likes half their players. So they were in a corner with this. They had to fight. Thank God it wasn't Arenado. I mean, he's all done.
Yeah, he's old.
Younger Bregman. Arenado can't hit for shit. He only plays third. Bregman was a shortstop at LSU. Great shortstop.
Yeah.
He played shortstop also in the majors. He's played some second. He makes that transition over there because you also like all these idiots talking about, oh yeah, he's gonna come play third and you're gonna just make Devers the DH. What? You're not paying Devers what you're paying him to just be a DH at this time in his career. There's no way. Never mind. Now, what do you do with Matza? What are you going to do with him? You know what I mean? You can't just bench him. The money he's making. So the question is, can he go out and be the starting DH? Because I assume Rafael is going to play center. Duran's going to play left, right? Abreu and right. Yeah. Abreu's another guy I would have dumped because Hernandez should be in that outfield. You should have Duran patrolling right with the speed of him and Rafaela, destroy that outfield. And then you put, and they should have signed both of them. And Hernandez would have been a perfect fit for the Red Sox and left, would have filled out that lineup perfect. Him and Bregman alone. Him, Bregman, and Devers alone are a bona fide stud. Some combo, 3, 4, 5. I mean, but the other part you're paying for with Bregman is the Red Sox have 0 veteran leadership. They have the only guy I think who's ever played in the playoffs, really, besides who we're going to throw in there, Chapman, is Devers, right? When he was a kid, real young.
Did you see the car he showed up to in spring training?
Who?
Chapman. It looks like a bulletproof tank.
But that's my whole thing. So I think that if you look at the lineup, you had to bring him in for leadership purposes. He can play second base. You needed the right-handed bat. If Story stays healthy, you now have a lineup that you can at least be somewhat balanced left-right.
When has Story ever played? When was the last time Story played a full season?
I know it's not going to happen.
No. What would you put Bregman at short?
Can Bregman fill in at short? No, you put Rafael.
Probably Rafael. I think it'd be a lot harder for Bregman to move over to that spot.
Yeah.
But like I said, the issue is they still are lacking ready batters and guaranteed guys who can produce in that spot. I think that if they're healthy, I like the lineup. And if some of these other young guys step up, but I don't know. The pitching depth's very strong, but again, health's going to be a major issue, and I'm very concerned about the bullpen.
Closer.
Yeah, Chapman's your closer, but now you're going to have to move where they probably all belong. Some of those starters are going to go back into the bullpen where I think they should have been. I didn't put the roster in front of it. Who do they keep forcing as a
Well,
starter?
Whitlock will be
Whitlock.
I think Whitlock goes back.
Whitlock
right?
go back
Yeah, he'll
in there.
go back.
That's where he belongs, you know? And
Yeah.
so I think they can piece it together back there. Kind of Crawford will be in the pen. But they got a couple of those older veterans, like, what's his name? Sandoval they signed and all that. So they've got some arms there. But
And the guy from the Dodgers.
yeah, but Bueller's a starter.
Yeah. No. What's his name?
Walker Bueller?
Oh. Who am I thinking of? Don't they have another? Didn't they sign another guy for 1 year deal as a bullpen guy? I thought they did.
Maybe. I had the roster in front of me earlier, but
They got, what's his name? Hendricks?
But, you know, that staff definitely should be respectable. No doubt about it.
Bernardino,
You know?
Wilson, Crawford.
You basically had last year, right? It was like Bello and Huck, you 1-2.
Yeah.
They might now be a 3-4.
Right. Who's the
Yep.
two?
Huh?
Who you got for two? Giglio?
Bueller out of it if he's healthy.
Oh, you think he'll be the two guy? Yeah.
He'd be 2, and you might even in
Giglio?
Giolito, who knows? But I'd say it's probably going to be those two, 1-2. You're going to have Hulk 3, Giolito 4, or Bayo, and then flip that. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
If they have a 6-man rotation, that's going to be gross. But that's one other story.
Well, until somebody gets hurt. I like Bayo though in the 4th spot. I mean, he's legit. Yeah, they're going to be interesting for sure. You know what I don't like? They pencil him in, and it's like, you know, he's great. Is Casas? I feel like Casas is like, I don't know, just stiff. I mean, they got him penciled in there, like, you know, middle of the lineup, big power guy. Is he going to be a big power guy, or is he going to pull a lat and be out 3 months?
I think this is the year he's got this is his.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I would have traded him in a heartbeat. I would have come up with a blockbuster somehow. We talked about this. Get him out. Get Vlad Jr. and come in with some type of big deal. I would even put Rafaela in it. You name it. You know, make him take on and make that type deal. But this is it for him. He's either going to be considered a complete bust or good.
I like Rafaela.
He's got, you know, Casas has till the All-Star break to figure it out. If he's still a clown, doing his bullshit stuff, looking like a weirdo, and hurt all the time, and doesn't get a hit for his first 50 at-bats because he's not ready yet, you know, he's got to go. He's got to go.
Oh, he's done a lot of virtual at-bats in his head.
Yeah, he's this is it for him. But he could come out of it, too. He's got the potential to be a freak. So maybe he becomes the freak, and that's what you need. You know, this team to go to the next level. Story's going to have a miracle healthy year, and you need Casas to become a very, very above average major league player.
Yeah, that would help.
Casas, as of right now, is the only first baseman listed on the roster.
Yeah. Well, who's the backup catcher?
They signed the guy.
You got Navarez, Wong, and Sable.
Yeah, they're fine then.
I like the kid that they traded though. In the minors, the prospect. What's his name? Starts with a K.
Sable's a good sized dude. 6'4", 225. I always like throwing to those big catchers. The plate looked like smaller, you know?
Yeah.
He's young, so we'll see, right?
Catchers 26, 27, and 28.
Yeah. That's not a bad group. Wong's a good player. So I wouldn't worry about that position. All right. What do we get next, Doug?
Celtics on the All-Star break.
All right.
Well, you know what I'm going to bring up that we haven't really mentioned, even though we should. I'm thinking Jason Tatum is really making a case to be MVP. The guy never misses a game, and he always comes out and gets his 20 to 30 something points. and they're a rotating, emergency unit, mass unit with guys on, being out, hurt, and he's never out. He's never out, and he brings it every night. That Heat game, I mean, he's the difference. I mean, he's the guy.
Not gonna happen.
You don't think so? Who's MVP?
No. It's not going to be Jason Tatum for the same reason me and Rick had the argument of why Lamar didn't get it, because he's the best player on the best team.
Yeah, but that's happened before. How many times did Luka win it? They're basically in the conference finals every year in the NBA. Jordan would get. This is. I couldn't agree with you more, Coach, on it. I mean, what's impressive to me about it is, he can have his moments. You're like, does get hot, but he's playing that point forward, like legit.
He is.
I mean, I don't know if you guys watched that game last night, but that was kind of a fun game. I mean, they kind of
San Antonio. I was watching the hockey.
Yeah, so I was doing back and forth because because also the hoop game started earlier, but
plus I hate watching Porzingis because he's just an injury waiting to happen.
He looked great. He played great last night.
I know. I hate
but they
watching
played last night without True, without Jaylen Brown again. And that San Antonio team's a team to watch coming up down the road.
Oh, yeah.
That Fox move for them, we were talking about that at the trade deadline. He's a dude. He's fun to watch.
He's a dude.
I love
He's
watching
fun to watch. He's tough.
But Tatum's like, he's just a man. I mean, basically, he doesn't get it every night, but he's like almost a triple-double every single night.
Yeah.
Physical, to your point, wants to play. He's 100% the front runner. I mean, there's nobody near him right now.
Who's near him?
Donovan Mitchell, maybe?
For what? MVP voting?
Yeah.
SGA at an OKC is minus 700.
What are his numbers this year?
Let's see. He's first in points, and that's basically it. Averages almost 33 points a game.
Who?
SGA at an OKC, the point guard.
Hey, Gilgeous Alexander.
Yeah.
5.4 assists, 4.1 rebounds.
Yep.
I think Tatum's got better numbers.
He's
overall.
Well, I'm telling you right now, the MVP odds is he's minus 700. The next closest is Jokic at plus 425. Then Giannis at 100-1. Then Tatum at 200-1.
Giannis is over Tatum. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Bet it now. Great bet. Take it while you can.
Tatum and Wembanyama have the same odds at 200-1. Yep.
That's crazy. I like those odds, Dougie.
Then Anthony Edwards, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Brunson, and Karl Anthony Towns to round it out.
Tatum's averaging 27. He's got 5.6 assists, 8.7 rebounds.
Yep.
It's way better than SGA. Way better. He's only 5.4 assists and 4.1 rebounds.
He's way better than all of them, and they win.
Yeah, and let's check this out. He's played. I take that back. That's the last 10 games. Hold on. I got to get his stats. SGA. Give me his freaking stats. You got his stats, Dougie?
For who?
SGA.
Yep.
How many games he played?
Oh, games? Jesus.
Yeah. Tatum's played 52 games this year. He averages 36.4 minutes.
24-25 season. SGA's played 52 games. He averages 34 minutes. He's shooting 53%.
That's
36% from three.
Yeah. I think it's a hell of a lot closer than what you're saying there, though.
I'd take the bet. I like it. Might have to put that in.
Yeah,
Why
200. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, the only negative, is like Dougie said, he's the best player on the best team, but so is
Well,
SGA.
it's funny. I say that. I say he's the best player on the best team, but Oklahoma only has 9 losses.
Yeah, the same record as Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
West stinks.
True.
Stinks
I
now.
agree with that.
Really stinks.
Well, the East isn't exactly ripping it up either once you get over the top 5.
Yeah, well, that's the top 5, but then the West. Who in the West going to win the NBA championship this year?
The Lakers.
No chance. They don't have. There's no chance. There's no chance.
Well, who in the East besides the Celtics? Well, Oklahoma City's good. But you know the thing about Oklahoma City and Cleveland? They've never done it.
No,
Those guys
Oklahoma
are young.
City chokes every year anyway, and you're gonna have. You'll have Cleveland if Cleveland's good. If Milwaukee's healthy, they could make a run, and then you have the Knicks. The Knicks are making a good. They get a good solid club right now.
Celtics.
The Celtics are going to be there, and who in the West going to beat the Celtics?
Utah.
Forget it. All right, let's move on.
Moving on.
Utah. They've won 13 games.
Denver. Denver's good. All right, so we got
So we're not doing Pats.
No.
We're gonna do Super Bowl instead.
Oh, really? I thought. Oh, yeah. Okay, we do that.
Why'd you have your heart set on talking about some Patriots?
No, I didn't care, but I thought it was interesting that Travis Hunter he's going to the combine in his corner. Did you guys see that?
I'm surprised he's even going to the combine.
Yeah, because he's going to light it up like a Christmas tree, and that's what he should do. He go there, and then obviously people know you can use him on the other side. They can decide after the fact. But I thought it was interesting. But the other thing, I'm just excited about.
So you're still projected to be like a top 3 pick. Like, why? I can understand if you're worried about your draft stock, but like,
yeah, but they just go on the combine. They all go. They all, they get. He shatters like the guys have made a lot of money in that combine. That maybe now if the top 2 quarterbacks leave or go taken early, somebody grabs a line. He wants to be in that top 4 picks. That's for sure.
once you declare, can you undeclare?
Yeah, you can say I hurt myself. Oh, you mean for the draft?
Yeah.
I think so.
You can, but I don't know the exact date, Doug. I got to be honest with you. There's definitely a deadline. I don't know what that is, but you totally could. He won't.
Okay.
But and I'm also excited because I think there's some possibilities for them to go out and do the right thing if they want to, and some trade possibilities, and go after like a Cooper Cup and Dabo, and I'd love to see. I'd get them both.
Well, you can get Cooper Cup, with a late round pick, like a 4th or a 5th.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, absolutely. I think they got 2 4th-round picks. But no, they can definitely make some moves. But that 4th pick, they got to get, like Dante said, either someone that sacks quarterbacks or someone that scores touchdowns. They need that on the 4th pick.
Well, you got to hope he falls, and you're going to go get the kid from Penn State. Call it a day.
Right.
That's your number 1 pick.
Yeah.
But the first thing you can do is in trade value, go get your receivers out of the way. And then in free agent, there's a couple solid tackles. Go get them. 1st-round picks, your D end, and you're sitting there in really good shape. The rest of your picks with the option to do some other good things. But we'll see what they do. But that early part, the trades are the key. Can they secure? Like I said, why go after both of them? What do you get? You can pay them. You can pay them. Then you get your D end and D ends in the draft there. He should be there, hopefully. And you got what's his name? Staley? Who's the kid that's stud from unless you're gonna spend a ton of money and blow everybody out of the water and go get Sweat. And what's his name, Doug? The tackle there from Baltimore. Stanley.
I think it's Stanley. Yeah.
Go get him. Just spend the money there. Go trade for the receivers, and then go heavy in the draft.
Yeah, Ronnie Stanley.
Yeah, go heavy in the draft on.
But he's older. He's almost 31.
That's all right. Just get him for a couple of years. Perfect. Don't want that.
Develop somebody that you draft in the later round.
Yep. Give you some stability. You also got to realize, hopefully everything goes well, that Andrews is back.
Yeah.
I mean, Andrews back. If he's playing, he's healthy back. He's one of the best centers in the National Football League.
Yeah, too, you know.
So if you get Andrews in there, now that changes things. I mean, I think he stinks Cole Strange, but he's a serviceable guy.
That's my point. He's coming back healthy. You know, he's serviceable. He gives you depth. He gives you depth at the guard position. But
anyway, I know you didn't want to spend much time on it. I just was.
I know, but the thing I wanted to say about the Pats though is don't count out last year's draft. Like everyone's like, oh, Polk sucks, Baker sucks, and all these guys suck. Well, they didn't have real coaches. I'd like to see what they look like when they're really coached. You know, and that could be a different thing. They could be different players this year. So let's not give up on those guys because I think they got some talent. I mean, Polk was a hell of a receiver in college. Awesome receiver. I mean, that just doesn't happen. Like, you know,
wasn't N'Keal Harry a good college receiver?
No, he wasn't like Polk.
He was pretty good. But you can miss a receiver. But I agree with you, Coach. I wouldn't give up on the biggest guys I wouldn't give up on, and they got a lot of experience, and I don't care how good you are, most guys can't do it. They're the big offensive linemen. The Wallace kid, they came in, they played, they're big dudes, they came from big programs. The coaching there on that offense was obviously offensive line play, scheme, everything was an absolute disgrace. Probably Plymouth North might have been coached better. And you're sitting there. Those guys got some skill and talent. Those are the guys that no one's talking about. I think that line has the potential to be a lot better with just what they currently have. But if you can bring in a veteran, nice veteran tackle, with that, I wouldn't give up on those guys in one bit. And like I said, Andrew's coming back. Now you get a veteran tackle, veteran center. Cole Strange has played his games. And you've got Wallace was, I believe, technically a right tackle.
Yeah, it was a right tackle.
And the other kid was a guard.
Right.
Now he can go back to guard. That's where I wouldn't give up. Receivers, I agree with Doug. There's been a lot of good receivers come in and just stink. They can't get the system. Polk's obviously not very bright. He might really struggle with McDaniel's system. That's why I'm like all in to trade for those receivers, all in. And then if I would say the line, one, sign the veteran and go trade whatever you can get to get Cup and Diablo. How do I say it?
Dabo Sweeney.
Diablo.
Debo Samuel.
Debo Samuel.
I keep thinking it's
the coach.
I keep thinking it's Sweeney from Clemson. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, me too.
But you know what I'm talking about.
You got me there too.
And then the pressure they take off the offensive line because you get a couple decent tight ends. But you can do with that with speed sweep, RPO, all that. With guys like those guys, we could be the offensive line if you do it right. But
I agree. And the clown.
If you take a line with that fourth pick, I'm not watching another game.
I agree. That's what Dante said. But I don't like this talk about trading Milton. These people are idiots.
Who?
Milton.
Oh, that's stupid.
It's just dumb. I put it on. So this guy's Savage on Twitter. He's got a lot of followers, and he said, "Trade Milton for a third or a fourth round. Who says no?" And I said, "Me."
Yeah.
I said no. This guy's a physical freak. He could run the same offense as May. And what are the odds of May playing 17 games next year? Zero. The average, I looked it up. I looked it up on ChatGPT. The average starting quarterback at the beginning of the season, only 50% of them make it through the season without missing time to injury. 50%.
Yeah, and then if not, who's your backup quarterback?
Right, you got to go get one. You got to pay a veteran.
Yeah.
Stupid.
And
Throwing away money.
Milton's not costing you anything. He's on a rookie deal,
He's
right?
a 6th-round pick, rookie deal. He's making like $1 million.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
It's like we talked about before. You can run the exact same system.
Yeah.
He is not. Milton is not a run-first quarterback either. They are the exact same, except Milton's is a freak. And
he's an athlete. He if anything, he expands the playbook a little bit.
1,000%. You get an option come in. How about him on the tush push?
Right.
He wouldn't even need to be pushed.
No.
He can jump
He'll
over
be
the
pushing.
line.
He'll be taking defensive tackles and stiff arming him off the snap.
So speaking of tush push,
bitch slapped that kid that tried to hit him.
So speaking of tush push, your Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl 40-22. Kind of put the whooping on the old Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs were exposed, as far as I'm concerned.
What it showed, everyone's like quarterback. Well, I think the Eagles being well balanced, excellent offensive line, excellent defensive line. You don't need Mahomes. You just need a guy that's going to make the right play at the right time. I think Hurts is a really good quarterback. He's not Mahomes, but he's a really good quarterback. So if you have a guy, and I would say I would put Hurts in a category with, maybe top 10, top 15 quarterbacks in the league. Definitely not the top of the top, but he's a good quarterback. But he went out there, managed the game, did the right thing. The line gave him the time that he needed. And you don't need Mahomes to win a Super Bowl. You don't need that quarterback. You need balance. You need dominance at the line of scrimmage. And that's what they got.
I think the most surprising was the defensive line play from the Eagles. I think they must have rushed forward 90% of the time, and they were getting home like every single play.
0 blitzes. 0 blitzes in that game.
So, I mean, that was just.
But they also had Joe Tooney playing left tackle. Kansas City. So.
Well, yeah, we had talked about that before as well. That it's going to be time. But I'll tell you one thing. That you're 100% right, Doug. I mean, we've said it forever. It's all won in the trenches. You very rarely don't win big game. Kansas City I love the Eagles. Doug, you guys predicted right. I think you did too, Coach. I just was sitting there going, they have 2 weeks to prepare. He's going to be healthy, Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
Reed's going to have some unbelievable scheme. Spagnuolo is too. And the Eagles coaching staff is going to do the opposite. Mahomes won't throw up on himself and throw 2 gross picks. And that would happen. They're going to stop run. Pretty much what Kansas City did.
Yeah, they did.
And then you'd get mistakes from Hurts.
Right.
But they were so freaking physically dominant, it didn't matter. And that's an X factor with Hurts. He didn't make the mistakes, and he can run the football as well as anybody. But the turnovers in that game, yes, 100% dominance, 100% Reed. Their offensive play calling was absolutely brutal. They should be embarrassed. But what Mahomes did, it's similar to Brady. People don't talk about it. When Brady choked it against the Giants, he threw 2 picks that was so embarrassingly pathetic and unnecessary. Changed that whole entire game. And if that didn't happen, they win those games. And what Holmes did is, maybe they don't win, but you don't piss it away. And that was pissed away. A pick 6, you basically gave him the ball, 3 times inside like the 20? 2 times, but one of them was a pick 6. I mean, you're literally handing them offense 14 points. That you don't recover from that in a Super Bowl. You don't recover that 99% of regular season games, and it can't happen. And that was, frankly, they were poorly prepared. They didn't know they didn't do the right thing. They very rarely ran a screen. Not many. I didn't see a speed sweep, maybe one. Kelsey was a 0 factor. And Mahomes threw up. Let's be honest. And I don't want to hear it's just his offensive line. They sucked. There's no doubt about it. But he also threw up.
They went away from their game plan that they had like the entire season.
Yeah, it was definitely, they got out coached. They got out coached, which is hysterical.
Like
When they
the,
had
the
2 weeks
stud
to
kid
prepare.
Worthy was only involved like in the fourth quarter when Mahomes just threw like 2 bombs to the guy.
But
And he's
Kelce
normally
had a
involved in
huge-
like the rushing game and everything. And it was just, I mean, even the passes Mahomes was throwing, it's like, oh, Kelce should have caught that. Like it was behind him at his knees, and it's just like,
I think Mahomes was confused, but Kelce had a big drop in the first quarter. That would have been
and
a
then
big
DeAndre
play.
Hopkins had a big
And
drop.
Hopkins they said he would have scored if he caught that ball. And that
Well,
now
did you hear Hopkins at the end of the game?
No.
He goes, "Oh, y'all gonna talk about the refs now?" Like you are such a punk.
Yeah.
And they also had the that was a big call, by the way, no doubt about it. But
Which one? The first one?
yes, brutal.
It was bad.
horrible.
Oh yeah, we were sitting in the Ming. We were like, "This is how it's gonna go."
Yeah. But they also abandoned the run. You got 2 good running backs.
I know.
I thought Hunt was going to be a big factor in that game.
They rushed for 49 yards as a team.
It's ridiculous, but they stopped running. How many attempts did they have?
11.
Yeah. I mean, really?
4 of them were for Mahomes.
Yeah, I think Reed was enjoying New Orleans too much for the week. Had a good time. Maybe he ended up getting like acid reflux or something. He was probably out jambalaya or something the night before, and his brain was all over the place. But they made 0 halftime adjustments. I mean, 0. But hats off to the Eagles team. That's a well-built team. They spend money, and you're going to win if your offensive and defensive line. I know they have crazy weapons, and that team's loaded. I mean, if they lost, would have been really talk about an indictment. But that team is loaded. I mean, you're talking that team could have. They could have like 10 all-pros that are worthy of it.
So do you think
you're looking at both receivers? You're looking at Goddard's an afterthought. Barkley's a lock. Hurts. You've got who's the other big lineman? Lineman. Sweat. The kid 33 is unbelievable.
Yeah, he's good.
Cooper? Cooper Dijon.
Yeah. He had an awesome game. But
he had the pick 6
on his birthday.
But very disappointing. And I think it proves one thing in football. I don't care how good a quarterback is. If you can pressure the quarterback, to your point, Doug, at the beginning, you win. If you can Brady, anytime you're at his knees, unless there's somehow, there was a fluke play or he had a battle late, things like Seattle was all over him. They couldn't do much. And then they lucked out there. Giants, that's how they won. They don't like quarterbacks at their feet. And Mahomes, the last time he got beat up that bad, he got blown out by Tampa.
Well, that's it. We just killed the Super Bowl. I like it.
The Super Bowl shuffle, though. What about the shuffle? Good time.
Shuffle was good. We had a big crew.
Not bad.
In and out. It was good. It was good. It was fun. Stevie Rich's daughter helped us with the filming of the reel. That was nice.
Yeah, very nice reel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. We hit the little Main Street, some martinis, a little Galway, and a little takeout from the Main.
From the Main.
Woody came over and found a way to not want me to eat Chinese food ever again because he digs in with hands, thumbs. It's like, buddy, really? Use the freaking fork, put it on the plate.
Yep.
Thank God I got what I wanted first.
Yep.
Because then I was just like, oh my God.
Then your boy did an Irish goodbye.
Oh yeah, he sent me a text. He said, sorry. I go, oh yeah,
yeah.
He goes, oh, that girl I saw from the BBC. I said, I said, good call. I said, you had to see about a girl.
That's it.
See about a girl.
So let's keep this going. We got a lot of stuff we want to touch on, but a little Four Nations hockey there, Rick.
Love it. I mean, I love it. It was. I'll tell you one thing though. It's fascinating to me last night. The Canadians fans are brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, they just sit on their seats. They don't even chant or nothing. It's like I don't think I even heard one like "Go Canada." It was weird. They were great at the beginning. They like to listen to the national anthem. They have lights going, but it was like a freaking. It was like a total Morgan there. It was embarrassing.
Well, they went kind of crazy in overtime.
What?
They went crazy in overtime.
Well, because it was action.
Right.
I mean, it's easy to go, yeah, ooh, wow, ooh. That's a whole different thing than like you're getting the club going. It was brutal. I just couldn't believe it. But good hockey game. I wish the Swedes pulled it out, but good for Bergeron getting a tally there. And Crosby, though, man, what a freak.
He's unreal. His hands are ridiculous.
I mean,
37 years old.
Those two passes he had for the first two goals was like outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. But no, I like the format. I just miss. I mean, I need the Russians there. Without the Russians, it means nothing to me.
I agree with you.
You know, I mean, it's like whip-de-doo. It's like, same thing like playing World Junior or whatever. Like they get this thing's got to go away. I get their lunatics in Ukraine and all that stuff, but every guy that would be on that team is basically an American. So who the hell cares?
Yeah,
This isn't truly an international event. They're trying to make it that way, but
I got some stats
it is.
for you.
Huh?
I got some stats for you because I was curious when I was watching last night. In the NHL, 42.5% of the players are Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
The next country, what do you think?
Russia.
United States.
Oh, the United States. Right.
28.2%. Then Sweden at 9.9%.
So is that like born and raised or like citizens or what?
Citizens, I think. So I get numbers. They got like Canada's 434 players, United States 288 players, Sweden 101, Russia 66. So 6.5%. Finland 48, 4.7, Czech Republic 32 at 3.1%, and then Switzerland at 11.
I thought the Czech would add more.
Yeah, well, I mean, so it's just incredible to me. First of all, I was happy to see that Felger and Maz were talking about it today, but Felger wasn't on there. But, Murray was just talking about how great it was, which is awesome. But just the level of play, when you have the best players in the world, it's like, and these guys hardly ever play together, they've only been together like 2 days. And the level of play and the precision and the speed and the skill, I mean, it's like, wow. So it reminds me of like the Champions League soccer.
Speaking of that, the point system, is it NHL point system or is a win 3 points?
Wins 3 points. Like it's like the World
So
Junior.
an overtime win is 2? And then
yes. I think. No. Overtime win was 3. So they got 3 last night. I know it is different. They did say that though. They got 3 points.
Are you sure? I don't think so.
Yeah, because Sweden got 2 points. Maybe I'm wrong.
No,
maybe they were wrong.
That. Sweden got 1.
Sweden got 1 point. Sorry, yeah.
I think it's 3-2-1.
But I thought
which I love that.
Canada got 3. But I thought Hedman said I would like to get the 3 points. But maybe he was talking about regulation. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely that. It's definitely 3-2-1.
Okay.
Because I like that. That's how the NHL should be.
Yeah.
100%. And unless it's 3-2-1-1 if it goes to the shootout. I don't know about that, but like we can look it up as we're talking about. But yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight's action. Saturday, good action.
I know you're probably locked in for the old USA versus Canada at 8 p.m. puck drop.
Exactly. I know. We got to figure out what to do with that, coach.
That's Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Saturday, 8 o'clock, and then there's a game at 1 o'clock, Finland versus Sweden.
We might have to order the Ming again.
Ooh.
Leave Woody at home.
And you get a little no school, all schools on Monday.
Yes, Doc. Might have you all for a soda this weekend.
Oh, hey now. Let's take it easy. All right, so we'll transition this. We'll transition this to the kids. Congratulations to your Boston University beating BC in the old Beanpot. I was asking Coach, I didn't get a chance to watch it. Not that BU didn't deserve to win, but just kind of what do you think happened? BC just had a down game. They just
No, I think BU just got some momentum and just kept rolling.
You said BC got up, right?
Yeah, they were down 1-0, but then I think BC actually it could have been 2-0, and then BU scored, and then they tied it up. And then no, I think BC only got, what was the final score of that? Was it 4-2, Rick?
I think it was 3-1, wasn't it?
No, the Beanpot.
Yeah.
I don't think it was 3-1.
I think BC scored first.
They did.
And then I think BU
4-1.
4-1, yeah.
It was 4-1.
Yeah, they were winning 3-1. It was an empty netter.
Yeah. From 200 feet away.
Yeah. I think that in that game, I thought BC came out absolutely flying.
They did.
Dominating, doing their thing. And they went in between periods, and I think they got a little full of themselves. And BU obviously got a Pandolfo. I think probably ripped them a new one.
Well, they picked it up at the end of the first period. They had a little momentum going in the break.
Yeah.
And then second period, they came out flying.
But BC was still – it wasn't – but I'll tell you one thing. Speaking of Russians, how about that goalie?
Yeah, for BU.
That kid is awesome. And that's an unbelievable story.
I don't know the story.
Well, notice his mask? Did you watch it all, Doug?
No, I didn't get a chance to watch it, no.
It's later anyway. But they had but his mask had lancers on it. And I had no idea why. Because he was in juniors with the Lancers. And their goalie got hurt. And he was already, their, whatever, property. And they had to bring him up about 7 days ago. So he just joined the club. So he doesn't have a new BU mask yet.
So he was committed to BU, but he was playing juniors still.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They had him stashed in juniors, but he's a beast. He's like the next Vasilevsky, I think. He's big. He was really good.
See, that's the shit that's so weird to me in the hockey world. How the hockey world is like no other sport in the world. Like if you're good, like it's the Wild West to me. And I didn't grow up playing hockey. Like I wasn't involved in hockey, but just hearing these things, it's like you're committed here, but you're going to go play here. And it's like, I feel like by the time you're 12, if you're good at hockey, you just don't go to school anymore. You just play hockey.
That's about right. That's about right.
Oh no, it's completely you couldn't be all right. It's the complete wild west. I mean, it's crazy.
But the amazing thing about that, though, Doug, you are right. Like when it's because I lived it, right? The kids separated about age 13, 14, where the elite go to just go. It's amazing. I don't know what happens. Someone flips a switch, and then you got all the other kids, right? But the elite kids, they just go. They separate, and then they go down this whole path where, like, they're playing up, they're playing juniors, they're playing tournaments. But then when it all, shakes out and they go to college and they end up, the ones that end up in the pros and stuff, they're the most down-to-earth, well-spoken, normal people you've ever met in your life. I don't know how that happens. Because their life is just turned over. By age 14, they could be like, you could have your kid playing for the national development team.
What age is like juniors?
Juniors is it's like 17, 18, 19.
And that's what you do. It's like you graduate high school and you go play juniors.
Yes. Yeah.
So you don't like graduate high school and be like, I'm going to be a freshman at BC playing hockey, play for
very
4 years, and then go.
Very best do that.
That's what makes BU unique. They have the youngest roster by far in the country right now.
Like the top 1% do that, Dougie.
That was Casey Carew. That didn't work out. He had to go back. But it was funny in the game, to your point, Doug, yeah. So you could still be playing juniors and still be in high school.
Oh, yeah.
But you have an age at juniors, you age out of juniors.
20.
And then you go from there. But you can then go back to college. So you can be a 20-year-old freshman.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the weirdest shit to me.
I live with
yeah.
one.
And it's always hockey guys. Oh, I'm good at hockey. It's like, but you're 20. Like, what have you been doing the past 2 years? Like, just playing hockey to get better, to get into like a better hockey program. It's wild.
If you want to play, if you're like a regular guy, like I said, they separate. If you're like a regular guy that wants to play college hockey and you're pretty good, you're going to be a 20-year-old freshman. That's no matter what. If you're good enough to get selected to play on a roster on a D3 team, you're going to be 20 years old.
Wild and
Yeah,
crazy
plus
stuff.
most of the kids repeat anyway. So, like,
Yeah.
think of it this way: James is like 23 without juniors, just because of his repeat. You know, but it was funny in the game. It was funny in the game because Amonte's kid Tristan still at BU.
Yeah, how old is he?
I was trying to figure it out. In Rokanaukas, remember the Rokanaukas kid?
Yeah.
He's at BU now. And he was at Thayer when I was there.
Yeah.
So I've been out there for what? Almost 4 years?
Well, Patrick was at Post last year. His, defensive guy that he played with was 25 years old, playing college hockey.
Oh, yeah.
And the other thing too is with COVID gave him all an extra year too. So yeah, you get some pretty old college hockey players out there.
Athletes is in general.
Yeah, and I think I've said it onto this. You Rick, I think you know him. Do you know the Falls, Dave Fall?
Yeah.
So I see him all the time, and his kids are in what are they? They're 9 and 11, I believe, and they're in the Lovell.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, we're going to Vermont, we're going to Maine, we're driving down to Jersey. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
You're talking about Lucas Falls from Duxbury High School?
No, it's Dave Fall.
Dave what?
Dave Fall. Jess Fall. She used to work with Jane.
Oh, yeah.
I think her stepfather owns East Bay.
Yeah. I don't, yeah. Oh, no. I mean, but that, you can stink and be doing that, Doug.
Well, I think that brings another thing that you and I have said to like the youth sports in America too. It's just like,
yeah, be ready. Be ready, kid. Baseball, you name it. The only pure sports in America still is football and wrestling. That's it. And no one wants to play them because they're too tough.
Oh, you don't think baseball's pure still?
Huh?
You don't think baseball?
Not with all the travel ball
Baseball,
shit and everything.
It's crazy what these people pay getting these clubs, and half the kids stink. It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
No, you're right.
I mean, as far as, now, like, it's like this kids, I was telling you guys this when we were on the shuffle. It's like, I was at James's banquet, obviously, last weekend. Awesome time. And the Cock Gulls. Good luck down in Georgia next week. Number 3 in the country going in. Great job by the coaches there.
You going down?
I had fun in the blizzard, but it was, they were kids 6 years. This is their 6th year in college.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable with the COVID thing. And then you throw the portal in. So, which is really difficult. This is the final end. The portal's not changing, but the final end of the extra years.
Right.
So at least it should calm down a little bit. But I mean, poor James, I feel bad for him, but it's like you couldn't, at that age, as a 21 graduate, you could not have gone into the baseball world at the worst possible time. I mean, it's crazy. Crazy. The kid who's the captain catcher is really good. This will be his 5th year as the starter at Endicott. He's a great guy. It's like, that didn't happen like when I played. He coached when he was in college. Like, you could redshirt in football, But you didn't do that like in baseball. Not. But that's good. But then you get the portal. It's nuts. I mean, it's nuts. But as far as if your youth experience, though people can be nuts or not, like there's no such thing as travel football. There's no such thing as
they do these stupid things where you go to like Florida and shit. But yeah, they do these dumb. And at some point they have like an all-star team and they travel to like Florida. But it's not like
you can go on the Papuana, like Dorchester's always good. That's what the guys talk. Who's the good guys? I like them a lot on talk radio. Sharon and whoever.
Yeah.
They're good. Like that's a big part. But like 90% of those kids don't pan out. They just have any better athletes in a younger age. But those aren't designed. You don't just like go Plymouth. Plymouth youth hockey goes to X amount of tournaments wherever. Waterville Valley, Lake Placid, coach did them all. I did some of them. And you go and blah blah blah. It's like Papuana. You go, this next weekend is our big trip to Lake Placid to play in a football tournament, doesn't it?
Right. Yeah. Well, because you can't really play like hockey. You play 2 games in one day. You can't do that in football.
No.
So anyway, I'm looking for USA 0-0. There was a little scrum in front already. US is on the power play as we speak.
That's what I love about it, though, is
the Finns got some dudes though.
This is not an exhibition. These guys want to win.
Oh, 1,000%.
It's great. I love it. All right, Dougie.
Do they play on an NHL rink?
They're playing in Montreal. Yeah, Montreal's rink, and then they're going to play in Boston.
Is it the and correct me if I'm wrong, is it the Olympics where they play on a bigger rink?
Yeah, the surface is bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call it Olympic. Yeah. I don't know. They didn't standardize. Did they standardize the NHL rinks?
Yes.
Because back in the day, the Garden was small. The Forum was big. They had different size ice surfaces. It's kind of like baseball with the different parks,
right?
Dimensions. They don't have that anymore. I guess it's all standard. But the Olympics is definitely a bigger surface. A lot more room behind the net, and it's a very wide.
Yeah, it's way wide. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot more room behind the net too. A lot.
Yeah.
From overhead, you should see
way
like an
different.
thing.
It's
a
totally different game. Yeah.
Belmont Hill
has an Olympic-sized rink. It's
I remember when Patrick was young, he played at Belmont Hill. I was like, oh my god, it's like a different time zone, the other end of the rink. It's like, what is going on down there?
When I played in Europe when I was younger, it was wild, like how much space you had. It was like night and day. That's why the difference is like if you play where Plymouth plays youth hockey, high school hockey, like that rink is a freaking. You couldn't play ISL hockey there. People would get killed.
Yeah, it's too small.
It's so those the old MDC ranks are just wicked, way too small for the flow. But I love watching it on the big rink. I argue with them because then the skill is just
it's awesome,
unbelievable. But this is great hockey. It's the NHL. It is what it is. But we'll see. It's supposed to be the best U.S. team ever put together, so we'll see how they do. Got to win this one. They're going home.
Oh boy! All right, so let's go to. We're gonna do some top 3. We're gonna keep it with the subject we opened the show with, which is going to be your Boston Red Sox, who still have the most expensive ticket in baseball, the most expensive beer in baseball, the most expensive hot dog in baseball. You're going to be your top 3 favorite Red Sox free agent signings.
Yes. Now, did they have to play for the Red Sox?
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Well, no. There was a huge free agent signing where the guy didn't play.
No, it's a trade.
Oh, it was? Okay, never mind. So anyway, coming out of the
I know
gate.
exactly what you're talking about.
So coming out of the gate, probably I would say top 3 for me, favorite players ever on the Red Sox. Big Papi.
Big Papi.
And he was cheap. He was all done with Minnesota. They wanted to get rid of him. And
Yeah.
Pedro went and said, "We got to sign this guy. You got to sign this guy," and they signed him.
He wasn't a trade.
No, he was a free agent.
He was in Minnesota. Yeah, it was a good pickup. Oh well, obviously the greatest ever. For some reason I thought he was a trade, but that's awesome. I didn't realize that for some reason.
Yeah,
I'll go right on segue that with no doubt Pedro Martinez.
Oh yeah, he was. He was just different. Watching that guy pitch, it was just different.
As soon as he came, it was like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, what a game changer.
I'm gonna go. It's gonna be a little controversial. I'm gonna start off a little controversial. On paper, when it happened, I was very excited for this guy to put on a Red Sox uniform, and it did not pan out. And the Red Sox have been scarred every day since. But when they signed Carl Crawford, I was
that's what I was thinking.
Very excited for this guy to roam center field at Fenway Park, and it just did not pan out. And like I said, every kind of big free agent signing they've had since, they've seemed to have like a black cloud over. But on paper, before even stepped in, like I loved it when they signed Carl Crawford.
100%. When you talked about that before the show,
Yeah,
that's exactly what came to my head. But
I
was like all over that.
Oh yeah, it was like 7 years, awesome. All of a sudden, it was just like, shit.
Red Sox killer.
That's
used to
it.
kill the Red Sox in Tampa.
That's it. Can't beat them, join them. Let's go.
Okay. I like this guy. He came in. He was part of that whole 04 team. He was one of the idiots. Loved him though. Johnny Damon. Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Johnny Damon, you got the best ass in the league.
Can't beat that, boy. What a hero. Set up that grand slam in Yankee Stadium. Forget it. Then they didn't re-sign him and let him be a Yankee. Frauds.
Hey, he's got a noodle.
I believe, Doug, my guy's going to be in the same genre as you. And I believe they were free agents the same year or close. Adrian Gonzalez.
Ooh.
Who was unbelievable in
from the Rangers, right? He played for the. Did he start off with the Rangers?
First baseman.
No, but he started with the Rangers. Did he go from the Rangers into the Padres?
Not to my knowledge.
No, okay. Okay. I'm going to go RIP, unfortunately, but little Timmy Wakefield.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was
I believe he did two or 3 years with the Pirates.
No, he was at the Pirates, yeah.
And then he came and did what did he do? 16.
Which he worked out great, but he was not a big sign. He was a freaking nobody, and then he figured out the knuckleball, and then flourished here. But he was not like
well, I mean, so was Big Papi. Big Papi was a nobody before he came here.
100%. 100%.
And now we love him.
So I'm going to wrap it up with an oldie, but he's one of the worst, I would say. He came in with kind of a hype, but wasn't that great. Mike Torres.
Mike Torres, New York Yankees. They got stolen from the Yankees.
I know, but he sucked here.
He wasn't bad. He started the playoff game in '78.
He wasn't Mike Torres though.
No, he didn't have that. They got too giddy with him. They got a little too giddy with him as far as he had that really good postseason performance with the Yankees and then went after it. But he was serviceable at least. He wasn't.
And then I got like a honorable mention, and I liked him. I liked him when he was here. He was fun. He was kind of a meathead, but I liked him. Jose Canseco. Remember him?
Yeah, I remember him.
Did you remember Jose Canseco? Yeah, I remember Jose Canseco.
He came in and threw relief for the Sox and hurt his arm. Remember he was out for like a while? He was with Mo Vaughn.
Benlin scores the first goal.
Ooh.
I'm going to give Addy again a bust, Doug, but everybody is all out of it. I mean, he did certain things pretty good. David Price.
You think it was a bust?
He was for that money and his whole money.
For the amount of money and everything. Yeah.
100%.
I'm going to go not bust. It panned out, but it dropped off rather quickly. How you feel about JD Martinez? Getting him from the Tigers.
I think he was great with the Red Sox.
He definitely helped them win the 2013 World Series.
Yeah, he just kind of fell off quickly. I feel.
Yeah,
he's still around.
He was always good with the Sox.
No, I don't think so.
Played 120 games last year.
Oh, you know what I heard about him? He's going to be a professional paddleball. What's that?
Pickleball.
Pickleball player.
A lot of them are going to it because the pickleball, they're so big and the court's so small. Like Rick can tell you, you don't have to move.
Yeah,
you just fucking stand there, and your wingspan literally does fucking everything.
Why could Rick tell you?
Because he's seen it every day at the fucking beach club. It's taken over the beach club.
Oh, it is. They have.
I got a couple other pitches for you, Coach. I got how about Tom Seaver?
Oh, yeah.
When he came in, and how about Kurt Schilling?
Oh my God, how we messed that up?
Yeah, it's a pretty good category. We didn't even think about it long.
Yeah, the other guy they got from David Combs. Did they have David Combs?
Oh, David Cone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Cone they got from the Mets.
Yeah.
He was at the end of his career, but he did a nice job in those runs.
And Lackey was pretty good.
Tom Brunansky. All right, Doug, we can go on and on.
I always liked a little honorable mention. He didn't play a big part, but he was a huge crowd favorite. Shane Victorino.
Yeah. Very good play. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice little pick.
You know who else was here for a little while? I don't know if he was a free agent signing or not, but didn't Ricky Henderson play with us for a little bit?
He did?
Didn't he? I think he did.
I don't know. I'm going to say no, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, the other Henderson was a good signing.
Who?
Remember the guy that hit the home run against the Angels?
David Henderson?
David Henderson.
Unbelievable. One of the clutchest performances ever right there.
Did Ricky Henderson play with the Sox?
Yes, in 2002.
I just say I knew he did.
2002.
Ellis Burks.
He played 72 games.
All right, boys. Always fun to wrap it up on a good subject like that.
All right, we got to move on. What do you got, Doug, for the?
That's it.
Anything good for the weekend? We ready to go?
Little off topic. Little off topic. I didn't realize he was such a journeyman.
Yeah.
Oh, Ricky?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Towards the end of his career, he was.
Towards the end of his career, people just liked his name. What did they have? What do you get for Valentine's Day, Doug? Anything fun?
No, just cooking up something. Just cooking up something special for the missus. We're gonna stay in.
Ooh, nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Coach?
Rick. What about you, Rick? You got at least likes the
pageantry.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna head over to Martini's, get a little chow, and hang out.
It's gonna be Friday.
Regular Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing
all right.
special.
Well, let's catch up this weekend, boys. Nice job.
Good job.
To all our millions of viewers.
Podcast
gold. Once again.
I'm getting the chills, though.
Uh-oh. Coach is going to bang out and have a 4-day weekend.
Team USA better not lose tonight because it's going to screw up my whole freaking...
It's going to ruin my winter.
This whole thing.
All-Star break.
If they lose tonight, they're done.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Let's go, Doug. Pull it up.
All right.